The Nintendo Switch 2 is a huge leap in power from the original Switch, allowing for more impressive visuals and better performance. A lot of games that released on the Switch 2 definitely showed what the console is capable of, but many of them are existing games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Street Fighter 6. But the Switch 2 does have an original game that showcases the power of the console really well, while also being a fun and unique experience, and that is Fast Fusion. This game is the fourth installment in the Fast series, and if you haven't heard of it before, this series was developed by Shin'en and consists of high-speed racing games akin to F-Zero and Wipeout. Fast games have also exclusively been released on Nintendo platforms since the Wii era, and always offer a fun, affordable, and impressive experience, with Fast Fusion being no exception. While being comparable to F-Zero and Wipeout, the gameplay still offers a lot of unique elements, and the gameplay loop is very satisfying. One core element of the Fast series is changing the phase of your vehicle between blue and orange. Matching the color of your vehicle to the boosts on the track will allow you to get a boost in speed. This mechanic is very satisfying and allows you to pay attention to the track's layout and think about where you need to change phases ahead of time. But phases aren't the only way of boosting your speed. You could also collect coins that appear throughout the tracks that increase your boost meter. This could allow you to manually boost your speed on top of the phase boosts. Boosting into another player will cause them to spin out and you'll gain coins from it, so there's a lot of strategy behind boosting. Another interesting element is the fact that you can jump with your vehicle, which adds even more strategy. It can allow you to avoid getting hit by other players, jump on top of other players to make them spin out, find shortcuts, or collect even more coins. Similar to other racing games, your vehicle can also be damaged, either by elements of the track or by other players. In Championship mode, you won't be completely eliminated if your vehicle crashes, you will just respawn after a few seconds. However, there is a mode available where you do retire when crashing, which I will talk about in a little bit. The gameplay in Fast Fusion was a bit confusing the first time that I played, but over time, it clicked with me, and once you get the hang of it, it feels very natural. There are still many elements of the game that feel intuitive, while also having a learning curve as well. And finally, the big new mechanic of the game is Fusion, where you fuse two vehicles together using the in-game currency. It is really cool seeing all of the different combinations that are possible, and it can allow you to maximize stats, making the ultimate vehicle. It definitely helps that it shows the tier of the fused vehicle before you create it. It even has a visual combination of the two vehicles, and a combined name on top of that too. It's a really well thought out mechanic that adds a lot of replayability. Fast Fusion has quite a few modes, and ways to play that make the game feel even more worthwhile. The main mode is Championship, which is basically the Grand Prix mode, where you play through each of the 4 cups in 3 different speed classes. There's also Superhero mode, where the gameplay functions more like F-Zero, having a risk versus reward element to it. The boost meter also functions as the shield, and the player is completely knocked out if that meter is empty or if the player crashes. The boost pads that would normally just give you a boost in Championship mode also replenish your meter. This mode is very fun and offers a good challenge for players who like the unforgiving nature of games like F-Zero. While this game does have a good amount of content to offer for $15 USD, there are only 12 tracks in the game. However, the tracks that are here are large, very fleshed out, and consistently well designed. So it doesn't really feel like there is a lack of content here, it just seems like there should have been a little more. But thankfully, there will be free updates down the line that add tracks and features, including some remade tracks from Fast RMX, so I'm really looking forward to that. This game also has multiplayer as well, offering options for both split screen and game share for both locally and online. Split screen works very well, with the game maintaining a consistent 60 FPS, and the fact that this game is compatible with game share is excellent. It allows you to play with friends who don't own the game. It's one of the only Switch 2 original games that supports this feature. One of the only downsides to game share is that the quality is sometimes questionable when connecting online, but that is really just an issue on the Switch 2's end, not really a fault of this game specifically. And it also shouldn't be an issue when connecting locally. And one thing that I do wish this game had was regular online and local multiplayer for people who do have separate copies of the game, so you can get a higher quality experience, but maybe they could add that later on in an update. I am pretty satisfied with what's here already. So overall, Fast Fusion has quite a lot of modes and features available that will satisfy most people looking for a fun racing experience. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the graphics in this game look very impressive and definitely show what the Nintendo Switch 2 is capable of. Almost every track in the game looks visually stunning and has an element of realism to them, while also having an appealing sci-fi style. Riding around a space station in an asteroid belt and avoiding tornadoes while driving through the rain looks very impressive. Many of the environments had me questioning how this was even running on a Nintendo console. It genuinely looks like something from one of the other current-gen consoles. But on top of the impressive visual elements, this game could also run in 4K 60fps with HDR support, and has very few limitations holding it back. The image quality can be a bit weird sometimes with a few blurry or jagged elements to them, but it really isn't too distracting, and there are plans for the quality to be enhanced even more in a future update. The game also offers multiple graphics and performance options, such as balanced, quality, and ultra quality, so you can change those features based on your preferences. But already, this game is a technical showcase of the Switch 2's hardware, and it's just a beautiful looking game in general. Overall, Fast Fusion is an excellent game, offering a good amount of content for the price, impressive visuals, and satisfying gameplay. I do wish it had more tracks and full online multiplayer, but as it is now, it is definitely worth the $15 on the eShop, and I highly recommend it for anyone looking for a fun racing game on the Nintendo Switch 2. It is challenging, intuitively designed but with a learning curve, and unique, whilst taking after other classic racing games, which is why I will be giving this game a 9 out of 10. I would like to mention that this game was provided to me by the publisher, but this had no impact on my score. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!